Greetings dear ones from the Aucturian group. All is proceeding nicely in the evolution of your world. The light of new and higher frequencies is now streaming in, strengthening your ability to see through current events and re-evaluate your priorities in new and higher ways. You are doing a fine job. When a soul chooses to spiritually evolve, that person's higher self is then enabled to draw to them whatever necessary spiritual lessons or awareness the individual is ready for. Allowing yourselves to listen and be guided by your intuition is a step most of you would not have taken even a few years ago. Examine who you were 1, 5, or even 10 years back and you will see how your beliefs and understandings of truth have changed. You may think, this is just experience and age. No, this is evolution dear ones, for there are many who have been on earth a long time but still choose to live locked in self-made boxes of unawareness, refusing to even peek out a bit. Self-examination will demonstrate how you have unfolded, through intention, into new awareness without even realizing it. The world often holds ignorant concepts of what spiritual awakening is, imagining it as a shaft of bright light accompanied by a sudden powerful energy that knocks an individual to the ground and they are then awakened. This is the stuff of fairy tales and saints' lives, not the reality. Spiritual evolution is a gradual unfolding process. As an unprepared physical body could not survive an intense sudden intake of higher frequency energy, they would be incapable of handling it. The profound experiences that some indeed may have, are the fruit of an attained state of consciousness, hard work done in previous lifetimes. Spiritual evolution starts with a sense of dissatisfaction. Those things that once seemed important and loved, simply no longer resonate in the same way. This in turn, leads to an intellectual pursuit of knowledge, much pondering and re-examination of one's belief system, and an interest and participation in whatever books and classes resonate with the student's new interests. Classes may consist of simple Bible study or metaphysics, whatever is necessary to draw a seeker to his next level. This phase is usually very intense. Groups may be joined with like-minded people for discussion and every heretofore unknown idea seems new and exciting. After whatever length of time is necessary, different with every individual, the student will shift once again to a new level and begin to realize that he must integrate what he has learned, and so begins practices such as meditation and the working with metaphysical tools such as crystals, oils, sound etc. He begins to recognize and let go of whatever erroneous concepts and beliefs he may still hold and starts to live the new and higher ways he has discovered. At first practice and change may be a struggle as old habits tend to die hard. He will still interpret truth in the only way he knows at this time, the third dimensional level, and so begins to practice the ideas of universal love in hands-on ways. With time, loving service becomes his state of consciousness and he works hard to fix the errors he sees. A good example of how consciousness unfolds is to examine a simple topic like honesty. At this point most of you would not even consider stealing from another. However, in lifetimes past, stealing was considered a right and the only way to survive. You see, honesty is simply a facet of an attained consciousness of oneness even if you do not consciously understand it as this. Metaphysics is usually as far as most choose to evolve in one lifetime, but present times are so energetically powerful that many have chosen to move through any remaining stages of their evolution and move into the next and most profound level of spiritual awareness, mysticism. In the mystical state of consciousness there is nothing that needs fixing or changing for the realization comes that I already am. Evolution now becomes ever and ever deepening journey into an awareness of what I am means and is. All truth embodied within the I am will and must eventually be your state of consciousness because it is who and what you really are. The releasing and clearing of old physical, emotional, and mental energies is intense at this time because you have chosen to move into the higher dimensional energies and cannot take the lower ones with you. We wish to speak of how this new wave of energy is affecting the thinking of so many with regard to Syria. So much of your past and present is about an eye for an eye, words from the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. The Master Jesus, some 2,000 years ago, brought in a New Testament and taught the people the truths of this New Testament. However, many still choose to follow the often mistranslated teachings of the Old Testament, as well as the misinterpreted teachings of many other religions, even while loudly declaring themselves to be Christians. In the past, power, violence, and dominance were acceptable solutions between differing countries. War. As you have seen, the majority of people are no longer resonating with solutions that consist of war and violence. People are beginning to awaken to the realization that they have for too long witnessed one fruitless war after another, initiated by those who stood to enrich themselves in some way without regard to those actually doing the fighting and under the guise of freedom and security. Mankind is waking up, dear ones, and this is how it appears. The world is discovering that it no longer resonates with ideas born of energies representing duality and separation regardless of how these ideas are promoted. You have evolved. This how it works, and it often takes a great deal of courage to step out and be separate, but always remember, you are never alone. Send unconditional light to those people and places that suffer. Activate and flow the transmuting energy of the violet flame and know absolutely that I am the dictator, I am the CEO of unenlightened and self-serving corporations, I am the abuser and all those choosing to live in and of the shadow. Your recognition of another's innate divinity even when they do not, helps to awaken them if they are in any way receptive, and even when they are not, helps to lift the world. Many experiences that appear outwardly to be horrendous for some individuals or groups, are actually experiences chosen on a soul level by those individuals or groups in order to bring about a final closure to some karmic debt and, at the same time, serve the world through bringing about more awareness and hopefully change of some sort. This can be observed with what is happening with regard to the sexual violence upon and disregard of women in general. Much of this was allowed under the banner of tradition and was considered acceptable behavior. However, worldview, even in many unevolved societies, is no longer tolerating these unenlightened behaviors and is demanding change. Be gentle with yourselves, dear ones. Spend time in nature, spend time quietly within your own silence, and know that your journey is well underway. Once an individual decides to evolve, there is nothing you need to do. Your job is to be. There comes a time when the major and often painful clearings are finished and you can begin to live, move, and be, within the silent awareness and confidence of love and joy. State the intention that from now on you choose that your spiritual lessons come easily and gently. Intentions carry the weight of your creative power as divine beings of light having human experiences within a veil of forgetfulness. Live, love, be. We are the Aucturian group.